I'm Adam Maness, and you're listening to the You'll Hear It podcast. Daily jazz advice is coming at you. It's my last day here at the piano solo. Pete's coming back, I think, remotely next week, and so we're going to do our last episode here of our series. How does that work? It's a basic jazz theory series. Check them out early in the week. I've done some on altered dominants, diminished chords, chord substitutions, and playing out. Today we're talking about drop two. And drop two is a voicing concept, but don't worry, you can use it even if you're not a pianist. It's great for arranging. Anytime you have four voices, drop two is a very convenient technique to use. I was just doing some orchestral arrangements the other day, and I was using this in the strings because I know that it always sounds good if you use it right. So what does drop two mean? Well, it actually means exactly what it's called. You drop the two, or the second note from the top. So if we have a C major 7 chord, a 4-note block chord, C, E, G, B, just a regular, vanilla, Wonder Bread C major 7. The second note from the top, the G, we just take it and we drop it down an octave. We omit it from where it was, literally move it down an octave, and that's what it is. And for some reason, these voicings sound awesome. Beautiful. That's it. So any 4-note block chord that you have, here's D minor 7, like the 2 of a 2-5 in C. D, F, A, C. Take that A second from the top and drop it down. These sound great. And so there's just an incredible amount of things you can do. So one thing I talked about in a video from last year was the Barry Harris 6 diminished scale, and these drop two voicings work great with this. And I'll briefly go over that. So the 6 diminished scale is when you have a C major 6. Let's do this. We'll do it starting here on this first inversion, E, G, A, and C, right? So the C is on top. That's our melody note. And we're going to do our drop two. Right, C major 6. And then we alternate going up the 6 diminished scale, which is a major scale with a half step between the 5th and 6th degree. Octatonic scale that is even, right? Instead of just, there's a half step, this A flat between G and A. Okay, so we have our C major 6 on C. Every chord tone in this, C, E, G, A, and C, is going to be a C major 6 chord. Just in different inversions, and this is all drop two. I'll go slower so you can kind of see this if you're watching on YouTube. And then every other degree in this scale, you might notice, forms a diminished chord, which, as we learned on Tuesday, is symmetrical in minor thirds. These can be used in drop two. So if we have this D here, right, we were here, see, we can do the same thing in drop two. And now we're alternating between major 6, diminish. Remember, all major 6 chord tones are major 6 chord. Major 6, diminish, major 6, diminished, major 6, diminished, and so on. It's very cool and can be incredibly useful, especially if you're voicing melodies in 4-part harmony. If you're a pianist, you can use this to play chord melodies, and it sounds really cool. You know, you could do this in block chords with the octave thing, but in drop two, for some reason, to my ear, it just sounds so great. And there are these little movements that you can get into, but that's really more of the sort of next level of this. Just know that the basics of the drop two are we have a 4-note block chord, and we move that second to top note down 1 octave, and that could be any 4-note block chord that you want to play. That's it. That's the basics. That's how does that work, drop two. Well, this has been really fun. Go to Open Studio Jazz to check out our new jazz piano technique course we launched just last week. Really, really fun. A bunch of guided practice sessions designed to boost your power, speed, dexterity, control. Super fun. I became more dexterous and faster and more powerful from just making the course. So if you take it, I could only imagine. But check that out. Go to openstudiojazz.com, and Pete will join us remotely next week. But until then, you'll hear it.